How the narcissist knows you've moved on. Emotional detachment speaks volumes. The narcissist first notices your emotional detachment. You are no longer reactive to their baiting or manipulations. Silence, calmness, and neutrality, where once there was turmoil, it signals a seismic shift that they can't ignore. The narcissist will know you've moved on if you don't respond to provocation. In the past, their words or actions may have ignited arguments or desperation. Now you don't flinch and you don't engage. That stillness is louder than any screaming match. It tells them you've mentally left. The narcissist knows you've moved on because the supply has dried up. Narcissists thrive on attention, praise, and emotional energy, good or bad. So once you stop providing that supply, they feel the void. It tells them you are no longer interested in feeding their ego. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you are not defending yourself. You've stopped explaining yourself. You don't justify, argue, or defend. That lack of need to prove your worth signals a new self-respect and a lack of interest in their approval. The narcissist knows you've moved on if your silence is strategic. Where once you may have checked in, pleaded, or argued your point, now you offer silence. This kind of silence isn't confusion or punishment. It is a boundary. The narcissist feels the wall you've put up. The narcissist knows you've moved on if they can't trigger you anymore. They might try the same tactics that used to hurt you. That is gaslighting, triangulation, and guilt trips, but they fall flat. Your calm resistance is both confusing and infuriating for them. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you are genuinely happy without them. They might see it on social media or hear it through mutual contacts. You smile differently, you laugh deeply, and you seem lighter. They can sense that your joy no longer depends on their presence. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you are no longer playing the game. You've stopped competing, comparing, or performing for them. The emotional chessboard they once used to control you now gathers dust. It's untouched. The narcissist knows you've moved on if mutual acquaintances tell them. Friends or family may innocently or deliberately let it slip that you've moved on, healed, or even found someone new. Narcissists often monitor these social channels for updates. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you are focused on growth. Instead of obsessing over them, you are pursuing goals, hobbies, and passions. This self-improvement is often a telltale sign that you're no longer stuck in the emotional web. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you set clear boundaries, whether it's blocking them, restricting access, or using brief and emotional communication. Boundaries are a clear message that you are protecting your peace. The narcissist knows you've moved on if they lose control over you. Control is everything to a narcissist. When you no longer respond to their commands or whims, they realize they've lost their grip. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you don't fear them anymore. You used to walk on eggshells, now you walk away. That courage sends a signal they can't miss. You've reclaimed your power. The narcissist knows you've moved on if their attempts to hoover fail. Hoovering is the narcissist's attempt to suck you back in. When their flattery, guilt trips, or false apologies no longer work, they know you are truly done. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you acknowledge the abuse. When you begin to name what happened, emotional abuse, manipulation, gaslighting, it breaks their illusion. It means you see them clearly now. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you stop seeking closure from them. You've accepted that they can't offer genuine closure. That internal shift from needing their explanation to making peace on your own is a turning point they can feel. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you are no longer idealizing them. You once saw them as special or misunderstood. Now you see them as they are, not a fantasy, but a flawed human with harmful patterns. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you've forgiven yourself. Self-forgiveness is a key part of healing. It tells the narcissist that shame no longer binds you to them. The narcissist knows you've moved on if they feel rejected. Even if they discarded you, your healing feels like rejection. Your refusal to play along any more wounds their fragile ego. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you radiate peace. Your energy changes. You are calmer. You are less reactive. You are more grounded. They sense this even from a distance, and it unnerves them. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you don't stalk their social media. They notice when views, likes, or messages stop. That absence speaks. You're no longer watching or caring. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you are building new connections. Whether it's friends, a partner, or a support group, new relationships reflect a new chapter, and they are not part of it. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you are not afraid to speak out. Perhaps you've started sharing your story, writing about your experience, or warning others. That courage is proof of healing and escape. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you've outgrown the trauma bond. They feel the break in the cycle of highs and lows. What once kept you tethered no longer holds power. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you see through the mask. Narcissists wear personas. When you stop reacting to their charm or manipulation, they realize the mask no longer works on you. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you stop making excuses for them. Where once you defended their behavior to others or yourself, now you hold them accountable, if only internally. That shift marks freedom. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you're not bitter, but you're better. Instead of harboring resentment, you carry lessons. That emotional maturity is a sign of real movement forward. The narcissist knows you've moved on if they feel replaced. Even if you haven't met someone new, your happiness and independence make them feel obsolete and important in your narrative. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you no longer need revenge. Your healing no longer involves punishing them. Indifference is the strongest indicator that they no longer hold emotional real estate in your mind. The narcissist knows you've moved on if you've reclaimed your identity. Above all, that narcissist knows you've moved on because you've returned to yourself. You've rediscovered who you are beyond the relationship, and you're thriving on your own terms. Now, thank you for watching this video. I hope you've learned a thing or two. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you've not done so. And remember, knowledge is power. Learning is power. And information is also power. So let's build each other up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel.